You know, Joe Dispenza actually taught me one huge, brilliant lesson. And I learnt this from all of his books, courses, and meditations. And this one lesson helped me to heal my body and change a lot of my life. And it transformed my spiritual journey. And this one lesson was simply this: your personal reality changes when you change your personality. Now, that was huge for me because it realized that the buck stopped with me. And so when I was looking to heal, when I was looking to reprogram my subconscious mind, I had to realize, how do I change my personality so I can change my personal reality, heal, manifest, create wonders in my life? Well, here's the quickest step that I've found that goes a little bit away from needing to meditate 3 hours a day and other things, which I found challenging with Dr. Joe. I went more into the idea of bringing that state of being into my day-to-day life, and how long can I maintain that state of being until my life around me starts to conform and change. And this was huge, okay? Because actually, then what started to happen was my life started to transform because I showed up to it differently. Because I was so mindful of how I was reacting to life, how I was stepping into life, and how I was getting hit by that life too, that I needed to start to make a change. And this change was simple. It was about noticing the reactions in my life. So I created a very simple technique that you can use too. It's called the Relax, Release, Reintend method. And this will help you to heal. And it will take that lesson of changing your personality and creating a personal reality there to changing your whole life. So basically, I want you to start to show up into your life. I want you to notice the way that family members make you feel, your symptoms make you feel, how you feel about everything, and start to notice how it triggers you. Now, when I'm going through turmoil, this is huge. And at the moment in my life, there's a little bit of turmoil going on, but I use this same framework to try and make changes within it. So I'm going to show up back to my home after doing this video. Notice how there's any triggering going on there. Notice where I'm present and where I'm not. And then later I sit with that energy. I observe it while it's on my body. I notice it around my body and I start to let it move through me. So I start to notice the emotions. And people often ask me, what are your emotions? Well, they're simply those sensations that you feel in your body. They're not always a process of truth. They're not always divine knowledge. Emotion sometimes is just your ego having a reaction to the world. So when I say this to you, friends, hear me very, very clearly. Your emotions are your lie detector within your body, showing you where you're disconnected from who you truly are and where you want to be. And sometimes it will show you that you're feeling good, so you'll have peace, harmony, ease. But a lot of the time it's going to show you that I don't like that. That person makes me feel undervalued. This makes me feel like that. Your job is not to fix them or change circumstance. No. Change within how you approach that. So when Dr. Joe said, and it was so clear to me, he said, when you change your personality, your personal reality changes. That's when I realized I needed to change, and life will change because of it. So if you've been struggling and you keep reacting to life, that's because you haven't realized that you are the forefront of that. So let's go into it. Dr. Joe Dispenza does use a lot of meditation techniques to try and get you to change. But I meditated so much and nothing was happening until I realized I had to step out of the meditation and into my life. So let me give you an example of someone that I worked with recently who had Parkinson's disease. Seven different symptoms. He now only has 2. Now, what was the biggest shift that I asked him to do? He was rigid in his life and there was no spontaneity in his life. So I asked him to go to be more spontaneous in life. Now, we did other things like meditations, forgiveness, and other attributes that he needed to add to himself. But it was that layer of spontaneity that started to see such quick, physical changes in his life, because he, on an energetic and genetic level, started to become a different person. And when you become a different person, you cannot stay in the same state. And when your state changes, your literal physiology will start to change. Your genetics start to upregulate. The genes that were holding you in place start to downregulate. But let's think about it like this. You literally become an energetic different expression. You express in this energetic field. And at the same time, my friends, if you're still here now, listen to me. You are just an energetic field having a physical experience interacting with other energetic fields. We know if we go deep down into the structures of the physical world, it is all atoms and then energy. So there is nothing that is inherently physical and unchanging. It can interact like that in this physical experience, but there's possibility of change. And let's add this other note as you start to change. Your subconscious mind, which runs all the processes of your body, literally will help you to recreate actual parts of your body. See, the liver, the cells of the liver aren't the same as when you were 12. They don't just stay there until we die. They literally are replaced every few months until you have a full new liver. So my point being there is, unless we keep giving the same energetic and genetic code into those cells, there is possibility for healing there. And I think, scientists will fight back at this, but for me, I just think it's delusional not to think that a body that keeps replicating and renewing and doing this can have anything that's actually chronic. I think the only true problem we have here about not changing as a personality and healing is that we start to surrender to the idea that we are unhealthy. We surrender to this new identity of us being sick, and that's why we fail. That's why we hit this wall, my friends. So if you're tired of hitting that wall, this is how you can literally change today. So you're going to start to notice your reactions to life. You're going to see where it comes up on the body physically. You're going to notice the tensions or the feelings. Like I literally the other day was going through something, and for the whole day, because of the intensity of it, I just felt it on my body. I felt that feeling, that frustration, that pain, that worry, that fear. But luckily, because of what I teach, I knew that it wasn't me. So you have to get into your mind. This feeling isn't me. It's something that's come upon me. It's something that I'm experiencing. Then from there, you can start to put your body into a relaxed state physically. So you start to close your eyes to lock out any distraction. You start to watch this feeling and you start to relax in a physical way. So you start to breathe very deeply, let your shoulders drop. After a while, you will start to see the energy move and you'll start to see it want to change. It will start to leave the body. From there, as you feel that sense of relief, that's where we can start to speak to the subconscious mind and change our personality. So we can start to claim, I am a child of God. Divine peace fills my soul. I'm guided to make everyone I love happy. I'm guided to success. I'm healthy beyond measure. The cells of my body are revitalized and renewed. There is golden healing light enwrapping and surrounding me. And these divine truths start to become your truth too. And it becomes so beautiful and so truthful that you start to believe it. That's when you become a different person, and that's when the healing happens, my friends. That's when you start to heal, and don't take away from it. Changing you changes your literal physical expression. And I hope this one helps anyone out there. For anyone who's there in this point of January now, who's got to this point of this video and thinks, you know what, I need some support on my healing journey. Well, reach out to me down below. I have 3 spaces left for January, and I'm looking for you to come and take advantage of that. I would love to see you there. I would love to help you. So click the link, discuss working with me, and see what programs I have available that could help you change your life. I'll see you in the next one, guys, and thank you so much.